Well, hello, everybody. We're so happy you could join us today. Today is August 7th, 2023. My name is Beth Hathout, and this is Notary Stars General Mentorship. As always, guys, please remember these meetings are being recorded, and we would prefer if you're watching live or even watching the replay while you're driving that you remain off camera, on mute, and keep your eyes on the road. We care about you and we want you to be safe. You can always come back to our replays and watch them on YouTube anytime you wish. And if you subscribe to our channel, you'll get notified when we post fresh new content. This weekly mentorship is held every Monday, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's all about you guys, our beautiful nationwide notary community. So we hope you'll turn on your cameras, bring a question, or share something you know with your colleagues here today. All you have to do is virtually raise your hand or to get into queue. And you can do that by using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your Zoom screen, okay? And no, you don't have to wait for us to stop talking. You can get into queue right now. Okay, as you get those cameras on and hands raised, we have just a few announcements. First of all, we'll be hosting a special webinar this Friday, August 11th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard, 7 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who are on the Notary Stars and online notariespublic.com, and this is going to be going over how to maximize your listings for RON signings. We'll also be going over things you can do to reach audiences further away from your area, as you'll need to know how to do that for RON. Our second announcement is just reminding you of our $1,000 giveaway on October 30th, 2023. You only need to have been a Notary Star or higher level member at any time in the past through August 1st, which has already gone past, right? And make a short 30 to 60 second video telling others what you gained from your Notary Star membership without talking about how much money you made. Leave that piece out. We already sent out an email with full details, and it's posted in our Facebook group as well. But this is your chance to earn some easy cash. You must be entered by the 31st of August, 2023 to participate. That's $1,000 in your pocket. That's awesome. These videos were inspired by Notary on the Street program that was initiated by Marcy Tiberio out of New York. And we're hoping to show you how to get behind that camera and educate your community and others what you're capable of. Our third announcement is on the latest update of renovations in our training website. These are mostly focused on Module 5. We now have 3 new files in Module 5: loan applications, accommodation deed signings, and loan modifications. And the 2 previous recordings for our reverse mortgages have been moved into this module as well, just to make it easier for you to find. So effectively now, Module 5 houses miscellaneous types of loan signings. So be sure to check out all of the updates on the members only training tab on our website. Mr. Ronnie, are you ready to start us off with the micro topics today to get our brains turning?
Absolutely. First thing, though, I am going to be selfish and I'm going to announce 2 things right up here at the top of the hour. But before I do, I'd love for you guys to light up the screen with your faces. It is so hard sometimes to sit up here and talk and teach and guide when we don't see faces. I love seeing your heads shake yes and no, and play off of it and see if you have a question in your eyes, because it makes it easier to kind of guide the conversation. So please, if you have the ability to turn on those cameras, I don't care if you're rocking your kids around the house trying to get them to go to bed, or you're cooking dinner. That's okay with me. I would just love to see your faces, and it's a way for us to connect. Believe it or not, I take a look at everybody that's on the screen that shares their face. I'm hoping that I'll run into you guys one day at a grocery store or traveling across the country. So again, if you can. And then while I'm talking about this, please go ahead and raise your hands to get in queue if you brought a question. We do have some that were written in prior to the session, so we'll start with those. But I want to remind you guys, on Friday, Miss Beth said that we're going to have a RON listing update. I want you guys to know how to get found as a RON signing, especially if you've listed on Online Notaries Public. I see so many people that say that they're not getting business, but it's because they haven't filled out their profile properly. So we're going to be doing an update, and this will apply to all listings, but especially if you are a RON notary, if you're listed anywhere, I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks to help you expand your business. And I'm not going to just be doing it on Online Notaries Public. It's going to be about all listing sites and what you can do to expand as that RON business. Now that's absolutely free. Saturday, I am continuing on with my biannual SEO conference. It is $150 per seat. I will not be discounting it. It is almost sold out. You can register at the top of notarystars.com. If you own a website and you don't understand SEO, I can make sure that you know what every expert out there knows and that you don't have to pay for it anymore. I'm going to give you a little tip and trick right now for everybody out here. If you own your own website, you often hear, support local businesses. There's a great TikTok that goes around right now that says, hey, yo, if you want to support a local business, go buy something from their shop. Tell your friend about it. You've all heard that probably if you've been on social media at one point. But I want to tell you something. You got to bring it back to the brass roots of supporting local businesses. As a notary, you are a local business. Even if you are a signing agency that's going for nationwide business, you are most likely going to start at the local level. So what does that mean? How do you start supporting local businesses so that you can get support? Okay, well, here's a great way. I want all of you to go out and look for 5 local businesses that you would like to sponsor with your information or your thoughts on their Instagram post, on their blogs, on their websites, or anything else that they're doing, so that their customers see your information and that you are getting backlinks to your website. News sources are a really great way to do this, but I'm going to show you right now on my screen how this works. I taught this in my marketing class, and one of my students has already done this, and I want to explain to you how the internet works and how you can grow your website, grow your presence, and also support other local businesses so that you are supporting yourself. So let's just take a look at the Notary Stars blog here. This is a great place to start to get your bearings. And I just want to make sure, Miss Beth, you can see the Notary Stars website.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is our section of blogs that's found under community blogs here. And I'm just going to open up this blog that says Google on AI generated content. Now, at the bottom of this article, and in most articles online, there is a place where you can comment in order to put your thoughts onto a comment. Now, I'm not just looking for comments on my blog article. These blogs do really well on their own in Google searches. I can show you how many times they've been read. However, I taught this to my students, and I see a lot of notaries missing an opportunity to grab that backlink. Not only did Kina sign this article, her comment on this article with her website, which puts her website out, which says, hey, something in social media or out there is pointing toward this website. But also when you click on her profile, it takes you over to her listing, and her website and social media is linked on that listing there. By commenting and getting involved in the conversation, you are now, according to Google, driving traffic back toward your website. Now, that's just one little tip and trick that I'll be talking about on my SEO seminar, but you definitely want to get involved in the conversation. On Instagram, you want to be using your business profile. If you don't have a business profile or a profile set up that has your website link in it, you want to make sure that your website link is in your Instagram profile as well. Facebook business, you want to learn to comment as your Facebook page, because guess what? It carries your company information. And every time you comment on another business page, whether it be review from your business page or commenting on another person's activity, you are now creating a buzz for Google to say, hey, this particular website, this entity is important. Okay, now does it happen from doing it once? No, you need to be regular about it. You need to get into the conversation. But that is just one little minor component of making a website come up number one. But I promise you, if you give it a year, you schedule some time to comment, choose your 5 sources that you want to comment on. It could be Notary Stars. It could be 4 local businesses. But you always want people to support you. So you've got to start supporting other people as well. Secretly in the background, you'll know, because you heard it from here, that you're actually supporting yourself by supporting these businesses, right? You're supporting yourself because you're getting that backlink to your website. And it's okay to be a little greedy. You know, I don't want to sit down and comment on 5 businesses every day either. But I also want my website to come up #1, which it does. So it's okay to be greedy and help someone else to help yourself. The last thing that I want to mention today, and by the end of this session, there will be a code put in. Notary Stars is now going on the road, so to speak. I'm very happy to announce that on Saturday, our sister site went live. My marketing students already have codes for the website. If you own another business, I am taking my marketing tips and tricks on the road with a new website called Hire Me Locally. And it is all about mobile businesses. So if you are a realtor, if you're a massage therapist, if you know someone with a cleaning company, if you're a wedding officiant, if you're a makeup artist, if you go to this website, hiremelocally.com, there's still some minor tweaks and twerks to get worked out, but we are launching Hire Me Locally, which is going to be our 3rd directory. And this is for any mobile business out there. With injunction to that, we will be doing quarterly webinars starting out on how to grow your business and helping that. But we are now taking these tips and tricks on the road for all businesses out there. So if you own another business, I really hope that you will attempt that. And I'll put a code in the chat at the end of this meeting so that you stay around for it. And I want to mention this right now. For anybody that you will need to have your camera turned on for the duration of this meeting. I'm going to make a challenge. I'll be giving away 1 seat. I'm not refunding anybody that's already paid for it. So if you've already paid for it, sorry, I'm just trying to encourage cameras to be turned on today. 1 seat to my SEO seminar this Saturday. So if you are interested in being a part of probably the most in-depth SEO seminar that you will ever be able to attend, from somebody who really makes notary websites come up on the first page of Google, get those cameras turned on, and I'll be doing a giveaway at the end, but I want to see your face the duration of this entire meeting tonight. All right, well, we do have some questions that were written in, but we're going to start with hands raised. Guys, just a reminder, get in queue. We would love to hear from you today. This session is truly all about you guys and what you're dealing with across the country and how we can help you. Miss Nancy, we'll start with you since you've already started the meeting off with your hand raised.
Hi, just quickly, Friday, the seminar that you're holding, I will be out of town, so will I be recording?
Have you met me?
Yes, I know, but sometimes, you know, you never know.
Listen, I would love to say, no, I'm not recording these meetings, guys, because I want you to attend live and dedicate your time to me. But I know that's not how it works as a small business owner. We will always record anything that's free and public. If it's, as long as it's at the national level, which this is. I know there were some people who missed my Arizona Ron Notary conference, but you guys never have to worry. I love when you're here and your attendance here. Like if I start getting 20 people, I'm not going to do these. So please come. But if you got signings, if you got to travel, if you've got something to do, I'm going to always record it. We're always going to put it on that YouTube channel for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I never want you guys to miss something. I love helping the notary community. It's just what I do. And what Miss Beth does. I'm going to start with a question that we had from a notary that came in, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I know there are some of you out there that are experiencing this or what have you. So I'll start with the question, and please raise your hand immediately if it's happening to you too, and chime in before we start giving answers. It says, "Hello, Ronnie. I'm a new notary signing agent, and I want to bend your ear for a moment. I have tried to sign up with some signing agent companies. However, most of the ones I have signed up with or tried require at least 1 to 2 years of experience. I am NNA certified, Notary to Pro certified, and NSA Blueprint certified. I was wondering if you might know a handful of 3-star companies that are less lenient on experience. Any advice that you could offer would be greatly appreciated. How many of you are in this boat? By show of hands, I see hands going up. I see, okay. All right. All right, we got hands going up. All right, that's great. Leave your hand up if you want to chime in on this for sure. But let's break this down because I do have some advice on this. If you are new or you are struggling because you are in your first year or 2 years, especially if you are a notary star, I want you to know that we offer 150 hours of signing agent training. Okay, so you can put down, if you want to be modest, that you've done 100 signings, especially if you've done all of the training. Now, don't go lying. Don't just sign up and say that you've done it. I'll back you up if you've been in the course for 45 days and could have really done 145 hours of training. You can absolutely, as a member, use Notary Stars, and we have it all day long where notaries use us as a reference with signing up with signing agencies. So 1 to 2 years of experience. I will tell you, if you have Notary to Pro, Notary Stars, Sign and Thrive, if you've been sitting in classes, it's time, and I'm not telling you to lie, but just go ahead and put down that you have 1 to 2 years of experience because you have studied under people who have been doing this, excuse me, for that long. Now, you want to be very careful when you start out because the proof is always in the pudding. You want to make sure that you've actually trained. You want to make sure that you're ready. You want to make sure that you know, right? But when you've studied under experts and I consider myself an expert notary. They say 10,000 hours as an expert. Did I go to college for it? No, but I definitely worked my butt off to open a big signing agency and then started teaching notary so I could make my signing agency successful. So you've got to put your name in the hat. Now, one of the things that she said in this is, do you know a handful of 3-star companies? Oh, please don't start there. Don't start at 3-star companies. There are a couple of companies that you really want to make sure that like Amrock. You're not going to mess around with them too long. But as far as I'm concerned, most signing companies are 3-star signing companies. Unlimited Ink is like cream of the crop. Like, we do quality control, we coach our notaries, we're kind to our notaries, we offer all kinds of directions, but most signing agencies don't operate that way. They don't give as much education. They don't have a training program that they're partnered up with. I'm working my best to try to change that in the industry. But don't shoot for 3-star signing agencies, not at all. I would say shoot for the best signing agencies you can get with. Who pays the more? Who has the most business in your area? And don't just go for signing agencies. Walk into title companies. There's an escrow officer that just started her job today or started her job last month that would love to groom how she runs her office with someone who is fresh off the boat. I promise you that. I promise you that there is an escrow officer out there right now that just started at a new company that is on a new side of town that her old notary couldn't come with her. I see Nancy Poche on here. She just spoke. She's walked into 2 title companies and had this happen in the last 6 months, where she walked in and the notary quit or something happened that way where she got the business. So don't just set your sights on 3-tier signing companies. If you are training, now, if you're not training, please, I'm going to always be the guy that says train, put as many logos on your resume as possible. Hopefully Notary Stars will be one of them, because we do seriously offer the most loan signing agent training. But if you are slamming logos on your resume, you need to pick that resume up and you need to walk in and show it to somebody and explain to them what that resume means, whether it be on the resume or in person, kindly and at appropriate times. But do not shoot for 3-star. Nobody that is a notary, okay? We always make this joke about in Arizona, you only have to have a pulse to become a notary, and which is kind of true. But anybody, you can't be a convicted felon. You got to have some sort of upstanding quality about you. That's a start, right? Then you start going to all these trainings and you start building all of this, under you. You need to be able to walk in and tell people. You need to be able to tell signing agencies when you're signing up for them, what I lack in years of experience, I got in 150 hours of training. Start counting the hours inside Notary Pro. So you get 150 hours at Notary Stars. That's, 150 hours. Then you get 13 or 15 hours at Notary to Pro. Add that to it. Then if you took loan signing systems, I mean, I know he trains on like a lot of different things, but I've been told, I've never been inside that course, but I've been told it's like 11 hours of training or something like for notary stuff. I don't know, but add that to it. Bill Soroka, whatever he's got under the roof, count the videos. How long did you spend watching that video? How many hours did you log in live classes? You start adding it up. If you got 300-400 hours, you need to count that as a minimum of 100 signings in a year. I mean, I'm sorry, it's translatable. They let doctors perform surgery after doing residency. They study, but they go to residency and train under other experts, and then they have to do it one day. So you got it. I'm not telling you to fudge or fake it till you make it, because I'm never going to be that guy. But lean into your training and don't shoot for don't scrape the bottom of the barrels. Reach for the top of the shelf. Okay. I think we should write that down and make it a quote. Don't reach for the bottom of the barrel, reach for top shelf. Sophia, you've got your hand raised there. I'd love to see if you have comments on this or anything else.
Yes, I do. For those of you guys, first of all, let me tell you, I'm in Los Angeles area of California, which you guys know there are probably 1,000, 2,000 different notaries. I actually got my commission back during Christmas time of last year. I started in January, and up to right now, I've done 90 signings just by myself. And there are companies, if you get on the signing order, I've never got anything from Snapdocs, but signing order, and you need to just give them an honest and open opinion for you. I actually are having people, thanks to Ronnie's marketing, that have actually gotten, found me on Google, and, I've gotten direct signings from companies out of state that send me the check exactly when they send me the request. So being new doesn't mean that you can't get it. And then I also do a lot of general notary work. I get at least 2 or 3, 4 a week. And all honesty, I do this full-time Mondays, Tuesdays, and then in the evenings, Wednesday through Saturday. So to get that many signings, the work is there. You just got to go on to that list. And I went on to all the hundreds of those lists, and I went and put all my information in on all those lists. And, I get orders. So it can be done. You just can't give up.
Miss Sophia, if you don't mind, I want to show the Google Search Console for your website.
Yes, you
can. I want to inspire some of you guys tonight, okay? Or if you don't know this, I want you all to know this. So one of the things that I teach in my SEO seminar, this coming session, she's in my marketing course, and I want to tell you, I'm very, very proud of her. She is an exemplary student, if that's the way to say it. A model student when it comes to implementing what I've taught. Okay, and I don't think it's that hard. I know some people learn at different rates, but she's been in the course at least 6 months now. Okay, and I want to show you. A lot of people think that a website for a notary is just 3 to 5 pages. Like the homepage. That's not true. So there are things called landing pages, and if you are familiar with Notarize, or now Blue Notaries doing it, they're called dynamic pages. And you create one page, and it caters to wherever the person is actually searching from. And I just want to show you her website. So this is the back end of Google Search Console. And this is what she's been able to do with her website. These are how many pages that she has indexed for her website on different products, different search categories that people might be searching for. And you can see when she really got serious and really started pushing to get those into the search rankings, didn't take her that long once she got the hang of it. It doesn't take that long to really to make things work. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because every single one of you needs your piece of the pie, and she's getting business and she's doing it for herself, and it's easy to do. You just have to know how to do it. So I wanted to put that in there. Ms. Sophia, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, one thing I can say is I actually started with the marketing. I want to say it was like in March. And for the first like 2 weeks, I ran through all of your videos, and I would start the video, stop it, fix it. And I actually built my website based upon everything I learned in your class. And it's actually working now. I'm just working on trying to move my rankings up and, make some changes. And it's something that you just do, once, twice a week. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going through it and just being consistent. And that's the most important thing.
Yep. No matter if you're building a website or if you're trying to go for direct title, when it comes to marketing, guys, marketing is a never-ending story. Okay, you're never going to stop marketing your business. If that were true, I would have been retired a long time ago. You're never going to stop marketing your business. And just when you think you're in that sweet spot, when you got that direct client that's giving you 15 grand a month, 20 grand a month, you're going to walk in and they're going to say, I'm changing companies and they won't let me take you with me. Or you're going to walk in and they're going to say, I'm retiring, which is, I've had that happen more than one time to me. So you're never going to stop marketing your business. And if you're smart, you will learn that before it happens. You will always be marketing your notary business. Abigail, I would love to hear from you. How are things over in New Mexico?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well, in New Mexico, I'm actually in Santa Fe, which is a very retired state, a very, very small town. So it's actually really about going to like local events. I've joined the Chamber of Commerce so that I can kind of get to know more of the business side, just because it's such a small town that like all the Trujillos, let's say, are construction workers, and all the Martinez work in the title companies. So you really have to get personable and get to know people in order to kind of get your way in. The good thing is that I worked at a local credit union for 7 years. So I'm pretty familiar with some of the community, but it has been a bit hard to kind of get my feet into the local title companies. That's been my constant battle, but I'm showing face. I'm going in, just introducing myself and getting to know the people so that hopefully I become their backup call. And for now, since I'm learning, I'm very comfortable with understanding that it's going to take a while for me to get all that constant revenue. I just like to show gratitude whenever they do choose me and they take a chance on me.
Abigail, you said something that is something that I do teach my marketing students, and I'd love for everybody to hear this. You said you want to be their backup. And that is exactly how I built Unlimited Ink. This is why we're all here at Notary Stars right now. My most popular catchphrase was, after I introduced myself, after I walked in, and I always said, how can I help you with your business? Not, can you give me business? How can I help you with your business? But the thing I did was I always asked them, if you have a notary or a signing agency, that is wonderful. But please put my business card in a drawer or my resume in a drawer where you know where it's at when you need me. Sometimes a month, sometimes a week, sometimes 2 years would go by. When you ask someone to put you somewhere, they will remember where they put you. They will say, okay, I'm putting this here. And a lot of them will remember, I grew this entire entity that we are now by saying, let me be your backup. Not, can I be your first? You want to ask, can I prove myself to you? Can I be the one waiting for your call? That is a wonderful strategy, and I'm glad that you're using that.
And I've watched some of your older videos because I only have like 3 months officially being full-time mobile notary. And one thing I really took into consideration was put on your best suit. Get ready, because you can't walk in when you're on a busy day and just show up and hope that it works. Like you have to understand that you represent them. And one thing I've learned, I've done maybe 25 signings thus far, but one thing I do remember from the table is that people always tell me that I don't even know my loan officer. I don't even know these people. And so if you make a great mark, they're going to say something, and then that company is going to call you back, and they're going to, right when you make yourself available, they're going to call you because someone said something good about you.
Absolutely.
The mouth.
Absolutely. And, the way I've always heard it is dress for the job that you want in life.
Yeah.
Right. I know you guys see me in t-shirts a lot. We've talked about that. We're on camera. This is after hours. We do this session, after 5, we start at 5 p.m. and it's 8 p.m. You guys' time. I don't expect you guys to be in 3-piece suits on a call or, in your best. But when I walk into a title company, there's not a title company that I've ever been inside that has never seen me in a tie. Funny story, when I got married, I'm divorced now, but when I got married, half the groom side of me was all title companies and notaries. Those are my friends and family, and then a few close friends. And it was funny, like at the reception, somebody said, "I've never seen Ronnie in so dressed up or so dressed up." No, wait, I changed for the reception, and one of the title companies said, "I've never seen Ronnie in street clothes. And it's so interesting to see him in street clothes." And then one of my friends said, "We've never seen him in clothes." And, because I'm always in flip flops and shorts. We live in Arizona, and I go to the pool as often as possible. So you want to create that impression that when you walk in and you go in with that, confidence. And the way I've always heard it is you dress for the job that you want. And it works on outside the title company too. You have no idea the impression that you make on your signers or who your signers might be. Let's face it, you're not going to the jail for loan signings. You're going to people who can afford a house. They can afford to hire you again and again and tell your friends about it. So you want to create an experience and look as professional as possible when you go in. For females, it's your business casual. For males, it's your business casual. But I will tell you, for the males, I'm a little bit harder on it. Bob Rawlison, who is one of the biggest notaries in Arizona. I mean, I learned a ton from him working under him. He's also a member of Notary Stars. He's not here often because he's always working. But he always says he's, 60 plus, and he says, "This ain't bad for an old man in a 3-piece suit." And I just know I'm going to be just like Bob when I get older. This ain't bad for an old man in a 3-piece suit. And he always tells me the only thing that, you just have to know how to sign the documents, look professional, and be kind to people, and your business will flourish. And he's been doing it for longer than, probably as long as his death, doing it. And this career will flourish for every single one of you, but you have to put in that little extra effort. And unfortunately, the dress part, it's going to always have to be there.
And be comfortable with searching for general notary work. That will get you really comfortable for loan signings. Today, I did a signing at an MVD Express, and the guy didn't have a notary. So he was like, "I need your card. We're going to call you." And I mean, who would have known, So just be comfortable and walk into the places that are unexpected or that should have a notary. But once again, you can be their backup.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that to the table today. That's really, we can never drive that home enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And then Miss Terry, you are up next. You got to unmute there.
Okay, sorry. Thank you,
Okay.
Ronnie. I have a couple of questions. Snapdocs. Do you recommend recording your signings in Snapdocs? I've never gotten a signing from Snapdocs, and I get few notifications from them. Also, I have another question. Like when you do get a notification from a signing service, you don't really have time to like research the company, you know, to see if they're on your deadbeat list or to see if they're in good standing or anything. So what happens like if you go on and accept and you get the signing, but later on you find out 20 minutes later, you find out that they are on a negative list or something? What's the practice? Do you cancel or do you just go on and take it because you said that you would? How do you handle that?
This is two very, very good questions. And if you have more, I want to start right here with these first two. So the very first one, do you enter all your signings into Snapdocs? Yes, because it's going to increase your number for how many signings you've done on that particular platform. However, do not enter the information of the actual company that you worked for. You want to give it call letters, like if you're working for First American, you could do like FA-WA, like First American Washington. There's going to be several offices there, and do not put your escrow officer's information in there. I'm going to tell you something that I learned by owning a signing agency. For the notaries that are recording my information as Unlimited Inc., we get these little invites that says, and I'm just going to pick the first name off the screen. Mitzi from South Carolina has invited you to start using Snapdocs as a platform so you can invite more notary, or so you can hire more notaries. That's not what you want. You don't want Snapdocs going out and choosing other notaries in your area with a direct client. So if you have a direct client, I did it. I put in the information, but I was I had already known this. I don't put in the client's actual information. I don't put in their email address or their phone number. I just make a client account for them and just put in like 000 as the phone number and a blank email address that goes to nowhere so that they can't market to my direct clients. Okay. And then the next question that you asked was, what happens when you pick up a signing? And this happens all the time at Notary Stars, where you pick up a signing and when you're new, you don't know, right? Like you don't know who's good or bad, or you might not have heard about them. You can't research them. You have two choices. You can either go through it and count it as a learning experience, because there are more good signing agencies than there are bad. And if you wind up not getting paid, learn to get over it quickly. Or you can run the risk of them blacklisting you because you didn't go through with it. Where you have to worry about that the most is Snapdocs and signing order, because they have control. Once you accept that order, they can put a blacklist on you, and blacklists are real. Okay. What I say is, if you see a new company coming out, don't accept it right away. Put a maybe on it and then go look at it. And I think Snapdocs will allow you to change the answer as long as it wasn't done. You can put on signing order, please call me to confirm the appointment. That gives you a little bit more time if they're going to choose you to research them. If you know who they are, go for it. But if you don't know who they are, try to buy yourself some time without saying no. And also, if you see tons of signings coming out from that company in your area, they're probably not a bad signing agency. Okay. I give this tip to you guys in the marketing course, which you're in, Ms. Terry, is I always say, look how many times you see that company sending out orders. All companies, you should be screenshotting, finding out who's got business in your area and trying to impress them. You should be trying to impress those companies with the most business in your area. So, even if you haven't worked for them, but you see a lot of business, they're probably not that bad. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that question. That's actually a really great question. We have, before we go on, Ms. Terry, you said you had several questions. Is that the end of your question list there?
Oh, no, yes, that's it for now.
Okay. Perfect. And then we have Miss Melissa from California. You are up next.
Hi, everybody. Okay. I just wanted to know if you've heard of nationwide virtual site inspections in Maricopa, Arizona.
Yes.
Okay. I did look it up on BBB, and they say they've been around 17 years, and I didn't see anything wrong, but they want such information, like right off the top. It's kind of scary putting all that stuff in there, you know, when they send you that application or whatever.
Yes, I have done several inspections for the guy who owns the company. His name is John Marsh. Beth has worked with him in the past. A lot of notaries in Arizona have worked with them. I find their jobs to be pretty easy, simple, great to do. If you're in the Arizona area, just make sure you don't get 75 truck inspections in 113-degree heat, or ask them to divide it by several people. But you know, most of them are just going to check to see if a business is open, if they have signage. You do want to follow the instructions. They do pay on time. Whatever you do during that month, on the 1st, you're going to get an email. The very first time you might have to prompt them, but after that, you won't have to. The very first time that you get paid, they're going to send you an invoice at the end of the month, and then it's paid by the 15th. So they pay pretty quickly. So I actually did an inspection for 2 of them this month for them, because you guys know, even at my level, I still go out and try to do as much as I can. I even still DoorDash and drive Lyft and do all kinds of things. Don't have to do it, but I love putting my money where my mouth is when I encourage people to go do these things. I did 2 inspections for them, got my invoice on the 1st, and it's already been paid.
Awesome.
So, I find them to be a great, and if you're good to John, I'm going to tell you something about John Marsh though, okay? He's got a great team that helps him run that, but he ain't playing around with you. You're either going to do the job, or he's just going to move on to the next person that will. He prefers to use notaries because we are typically smarter than the next tier down of people that you can get from Craigslist. So if you're good to him, he'll be good to you. You'll build a relationship. And there are lots of companies like that. We've listed a ton of Notary Stars under the site inspections, and they're hiring companies. Please look for those. But definitely virtual site inspections. I've had a great experience. Beth, what would be your experience?
I loved it when I worked for John. He had a period of time where he was reducing fees, so it wasn't a whole lot of fun. But the way I combated that was telling him, I want all of the orders that you have in this area, this radius, these zip codes. So it would make it worth it to me to spend 3 hours if I get in my car and I do all of these inspections, one after the other, then it was worth the fee that I would get to do that. So yeah, John was a great guy to work with.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
and
Thank you.
that reminds me of another perk of doing inspections, guys. It sounds bad, right? $40 to go take 15 photos. It's on an app. Here's the thing about John's app, okay? Virtual site inspections. They called me one day. I took the first one for $60. That was the very first one I ever did. They said, we're going to give you a little bit more. They said, but we have 5 more, in the local area. So I picked them up, and literally within an hour and 20 minutes, I made $140. And the app lines them up. So they give you 7 days to complete it. Sometimes it's got to be quickly, but they give you like a time period so you can work it in your calendar, and the app will line them up in the best route for you to go to these locations and bring you back home. So
Yeah, that was the cool part. They
Yeah.
route it for you. Route it, whatever.
yeah. And sometimes you're going and the business isn't there, and you just mark it as closed or not there. I did one about 3 weeks ago, and I actually went to the neighboring business and said, hey, I'm looking for this company. And they said, yep, we think it's in there, but nobody's been in there in 3 years. And I just took pictures through the window, and it was like paper on the floor and computer screens turned over, and you could clearly tell no one had been in there, maybe vagrants, but it was in a great area. But that little corner business was gone, and all the bank wants to know is it a viable business? And you take pictures, you have to be a little perceptive. So for instance, in this case, there was like a UPS sticker and a couple of them on the ground where they had fallen off. And they were dated like back months ago, meaning that they've never even picked up like their packages that are not being delivered. So, or maybe they are and they just don't pick up the slip. But sometimes you get great assignments like that. You get $40 and all you have to do is say it's closed.
Real quick, how do you feel when it is open about taking the pictures? Like, I don't know, do you feel, I felt a little weird. I've only done one at delivering a letter to a shop, but like they want you to go into maybe like a doctor's office and then take a few pictures. You
They
just
give
have
you
to
a
be-
letter. They give you a letter from the bank that you print out and you let them know who you are. And then you have a
Oh.
virtual card on that app that lets them know that you're an inspector. So
Oh,
you go in very professional and you let them know you're there on behalf of that bank that's doing a verification or whatever you're going out to take pictures of, and they'll all be nice to you. The only time that I had a problem was I did a verification for a casino company that builds slot machines. And if anybody ever does this, that's like going to like Area 54. You better declare who you are or you can get shot. And I learned that the hard way. You don't go up into a casino slot making machine company taking pictures,
right.
telling people who you are and why you're there.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, cool. I thought they wanted you to take the pictures kind of like on the sly or something. Yeah, that's how I felt because I just by the description, but that
No,
sounds
you
better.
are
That
you can
sounds
tell people, and they give you that letter and they give you that letter and they give you a little virtual card as well, and they know you're coming.
okay. Great. Awesome.
These
Thank
are
you.
not like door knocks, at least for John's company, they're not door knocks on companies that are houses that are abandoned. They're businesses that are applying for loans, and you go out and verify their equipment, you go out and verify mileage on trucks, you go out and take pictures of the equipment that might be in the office. And then sometimes they just want to know, do they have signage? What street are they on to verify that it's actually there?
Yeah, and Melissa, the ones that you're talking about, that there was a lot of that going around after the market crash of 2008-09, right? So we're long about 2015. We were doing a lot of those home inspections where you had to go take 3 pictures of the house, observe the condition of the house. Were there any cars parked in the house? These were people that were behind on their mortgage and they were trying to determine if the property was abandoned. Those are the ones that can get you shot if you're not really careful or have an actual camera you can use a zoom lens on, right? So I did a lot of those in probably 2015, 2016, and then they kind of popped up again around pandemic era, although that was a little bit different situation, right? But those are the ones that are kind of touchy, and then delivering those letters that say, hey, this is from your lender. You've been avoiding talking to them. Please give them a call. I'm going to note here, I did speak with you. That sort of thing is almost like, what do you call it? Subpoena delivery. And I don't like to do those either for women.
That's the only one I had was like that. That's the first one I had and was like that. So that's why when Ronnie's telling me, I'm like, oh, cool, I can do that. That sounds a lot more comfortable, than what I did.
Well, that's through Sandcastle does a lot of those types of inspections, but John kind of focuses more on business inspections and construction inspections. So he doesn't kind of delve into that kind of risky, get you shot kind of inspections. So virtual site inspections, or what's it called? National virtual site inspections, nationwide, sorry, is where you want to go to try and hook up with John Marsh.
Guys, I'm posting a link into the chat right now. We are going to be running out of time. We may not be able to get to everybody. It's always important to get those hands raised at the beginning of general mentorship. We do this and it goes on late on the East Coast. I'm posting a link. If you'd like your question answered during general mentorship, you can click on that link and save it every week. You can, if you ever have a question that you want to bring to general mentorship, we will be glad to get your questions in advance, which brings us to our next question here. The next question, Ms. Beth, and I'm going to actually share this on the screen here so that you can see it because it's a little bit long and this is going to be definitely your forte. Give me 1 second here. I don't want to put this person's contact information on the screen, so we're going to just highlight what should be shared. Let's see. Can you see that there, Ms. Beth?
Almost.
The question?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
says, what is the proper way to complete a notarial certificate that is in a loan package, for example, and the certificate is on the next page of the document? Okay. And she says, I've been printing on the certificate directly below where I write my commission expiration date, document, write name of document, this is for, and is this the proper procedure? So literally what she's saying is she's got a document where the certificate falls to page 2. So you need to be able to identify if that certificate is standing out in the weeds all by itself, right? Can it be used for any document in the package, or does it somehow identify what it goes to? So we know when we're doing purposely attaching a loose certificate, we've got that additional information below on the bottom part of our certificate. Most states, if you check your handbooks, require 4 pieces of information to be on a loose certificate. So in a loan package, you've got a certificate standing out all by itself. You need to make sure that you attach those 4 pieces of information: name of document or description, number of pages, date of the document, and then some type of reference number. If it's in a loan package, I always direct you to that escrow file number, because it ties not only that certificate to the document, but to the actual transaction that it belongs to. So those 4 pieces of information need to go on that certificate, even if it's not one you provided. And we always recommend that you get a rubber stamp made so that you can stamp right under your certificate and then fill in the blanks. That way it looks a little more professional. If you're just handwriting all of it, you might get a call from title asking you why you're writing a book on your certificate. So here's a little sample of what we recommend, if y'all can read that. Is it backwards or is it right side out?
It's right side out.
Okay. So just get a little stamp made at like Staples or your local office supply store. And then this says attached to and becoming part of, and then it lists those 4 areas that you can stamp onto the lower part of your certificate and fill it in. That will make you or bring you back into compliance with your state laws. And that's how you attach a certificate in a loan document package or any other type of package.
Okay, guys, we're almost getting close to the drawing. I have put a number on this sheet of paper. Okay. And I'm just letting you know we got about 8 minutes. We're going to try to go through as many questions as we possibly can in 8 minutes. We're trying to keep this at exactly an hour because we know the people on the East Coast, they are so hungry and they are so tired. They got to go to bed. Mr. Rod, when you are ready, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thanks, Ronnie. I just want to make sure I understand your suggestion about Snapdocs.
Mm-hmm.
I use Notary Gadget to keep track of all my signings, but I understood you to say that we should go ahead and include all our signings in Snapdocs without all the specific information, and that's going to help us get business with Snapdocs. Did I understand that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
By the way, everybody, I see people putting in numbers. We're not ready for those yet. I haven't even given the number range. So sorry about that, Mr. Rod. So yes, for the when you enter in Snapdocs, you want to just put in a dummy company, but that corresponds for you, but doesn't give away your direct client's information so that they don't remarket to those clients.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we have Kimberly Nanali coming up next. Who's getting her workout on right now.
Good. Hey, my question, Ronnie, is I've been noticing your social media posts about social media. And well, that's not a question, that's a statement. But it got me to thinking about my my personal business page. And I saw you about the weeks and all of that. I have a landing page that I just turned into a website, and I'm trying to see, I've had the landing page forever. Does it really matter if you just have a free Google landing page versus paying for a website?
Absolutely. Google pages are only meant to be attached to your Google My Business, and they're only meant to be temporary. They cannot be SEO'd to come up in search landings or get found for anything that a customer is typing in. Only they'll ever come up on your Google My Business webpage.
Okay, so I did just do, I know you said you do Wix. I didn't know that. I had already did GoDaddy.
Yeah,
But
you can do GoDaddy as well. GoDaddy is also a really great provider.
I signed up for your thing because I want to SEO my page, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can SEO your page on any web platform. All web pages allow, you can even SEO your Notary Stars listing on a web page like that's built on GoDaddy, WordPress, or Wix. That's where you're really wanting to go in and do the detail of getting search engine optimization. So you can, if you built it on GoDaddy, apply any of the principles that are on Wix just as the same as on WordPress. I just happen to prefer Wix for many reasons. I think I find it cheaper in the long run, number one, and number two, it has everything very easy drag and drop to do. But all website providers provide, I find more freedom with Wix too on what I'm trying to accomplish, but you can do these things on any website. However, a Google site is meant to only be attached, and it's meant to be a temporary site. You're never going to expand that site or get found from across the country with a website like that.
And one last question. Do I have to pay to be a part of a higher membership? Because you know I received a gift from you in order
Yes.
to do.
So you received the Notary Stars membership. It does not include the Notary Stars Plus marketing membership.
So I can just buy the marketing piece?
Yeah, you would have to buy just the marketing piece.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you, in order to do that, you would need to contact me directly because it's a manipulation of the billing in the background. So I would have to do it there. And just so you guys know, so everybody calls me and says, can I just get the marketing piece? Kimberly won a lifetime membership to Notary Stars for the training, but not the marketing side. So that part is a completely separate course. So it's sold as a combination, but that's why she would be able to get the manipulation on the billing piece. Thank you, Miss Kimberly. Next up is Beth McGee out of New York.
Yep, I'm here. Thank you. First, I really wanted to thank Beth and Ronnie for answering the phone when I needed to have some information about a notarization that I was going to do in like a half an hour a couple of weeks ago, and it went really, really well. And the signing service person, when I explained to them what I ended up having to do, they said, wow, most notaries would have frozen in that situation. And you went ahead and did it. So thank you very much. I wanted to ask a question about the roundup settlement notarization signing appointments that are coming around. I'm seeing a lot of them, and I'm curious if they're the same sort of situation for notaries as like debt settlement signings. And I see all sorts of different opinions about debt settlements. And I'm not going to get into that sort of signing, but I am curious about this roundup settlement one. I've gotten like 3 this week. They say you might need to take up to 2 trips to the property, but you'd get paid for each one. It's through Notary Dash is the platform that's doing it. And then if they have to fill out a 4-page application for it because they're like a claimant in this class action suit, you'd have to stay there and wait for it for them to do it. So I'm just curious what your opinions are on it, if you know anything about them.
I don't know about them. However, I will tell you this. So Unlimited Inc. has debt settlement companies that we work with. Some of you may have done debt settlements with us. A legitimate signing agency, which if it came through Notary Dash, it's more than likely, I know that she sells it for other people, it's more than likely Jennifer Glover. I think that's her current last name. It might be Jennifer Garland now. I can't remember which last name it is, but it's her company, Precise Signings on Notary Dash. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but she's been in the game for a long time. She's not going to partner or bring on a client that's going to be a shady client. Just like Unlimited Inc. I've been in here, I was really skeptical about bringing on debt settlement companies. I would say that a good standing signing agency is not going to take the risk of, mixing a bad debt settlement company. There are people who have to do debt settlements. It's a legitimate business. Although some of them get bad reputations, I don't think we did our research. I'm sure she did hers. So if it's coming through a legitimate signing agency, one that you know and respect that you've heard of, I wouldn't be worried about doing it at all because they have more to lose than you ever will. If they're a big company, you know, like what's her name of her company, Precise or Precision or something like that.
Prestige.
Prestige.
Prestige. I mean, she's got tons of clients, and you know, I would say, you know, just like Unlimited Ink, we would never take a risk like that to bring on a debt settlement company unless they showed us what they were doing. We talked to them, like, what do they really need? All of those things. When it comes to roundups, that's not a product that I've heard of, and it's not a term that our debt settlement companies use. I'll have to do some more research on that. You know, we're Miss Melissa is raising her hand. Did you have something that knows about the roundup there?
Yes, you know, the Roundup lawsuit that people got cancer for using the chemical Roundup.
So we
somewhere along the line, they've signed up for it, and now they're getting to the end of it. So they're trying to get everybody's paperwork in order, and they can't find some people. So they're just trying, some people may already be dead. So you might have to take another form for the next of kin. So it's not a debt settlement. It's the Roundup suit trying to get the claimants to get in the suit at the end because they're ready.
My concern primarily is that what people have complained about debt settlements is where the signing company is expecting the notary to act as a representative. And there have actually been lawsuits with regard to that.
Yeah,
where
that's
the
not
notaries
what
have
this
been
is.
held. Right. So I just want to make sure that that's not the
No.
sort of thing that we're dealing with. And the notary, the thing that I keep getting debt settlements from, like daily, several of them, is National Paralegal and Notary.
Yeah. So at Unlimited Ink, we do not ask our notaries to act as a representative. In fact, we have the representatives for the debt settlement company on the phone available from the time that they schedule 7 a.m. until late. Those officers of that company have to be available by phone. Our notaries are just there to deliver the documents and notarize them. We do not explain those documents or anything. So they have a call with their, let's call it a loan officer or their officer. And then that officer is available to the notary who travels to the appointment. And you know, sometimes we get notaries that say they didn't want to proceed, that they didn't realize that they were going to have to pay a little bit up front in order to kind of get into the program. But you know, again, a legitimate signing company that's not asking you to be a representative, like we tell our notaries, you are not a representative, you are just there to notarize the document. You can notarize the document if the person wants it notarized. If they say no, then you can't. If they need to call their officer, you know, to just verify a few things, that's not duress, that's just making sure that they understand what they sign, and you're there to just notarize the document. But we make it very clear to ours, if you have a company that says you are acting as a representative, I would like to ask you this: what's the difference of acting as a representative for title as a signing agent or acting as a representative for another company saying that you're going there on their behalf? There's a line there, you know, like I wouldn't say that I am there. I would personally introduce myself as I am the notary contracted on behalf of this company to notarize your documents. I am not employed by the company. And if you have a question, I will get that company on the phone for you. You know, that's a good workaround. You can represent them as a professional notary all day long, but you don't have to say that you are a representative of that company.
Yeah, we don't even do that in loan signings, and yet we do give them descriptions and presentations. There's a company out there that makes you read like a 14-page script to these consumers and have them initial the end of each page as you're done reading it to them. And those are the ones that they make you sign off as a representative. By the time you're done just reading that script to them, they think that you're their sales rep or their contact or their agent with the company. And that's a no-go for me, for sure.
All right, guys, we've got to get finished up with these last two questions so that we can get going. The last question will be Abigail, and we got to do the giveaway. So let's go to Miss Debbie Morris, who's been so patient with her hand raised through the last few
Thank you.
questions. Miss Debbie, we are ready for you. And first of all,
Thank you.
where are you tuning in from?
I'm tuning in from Maryland,
Well, welcome from
and
Maryland.
this is actually my first time tuning in. I've enjoyed the information that everyone's shared. But my thing is, my question is, are you guys seeing really, really low rates for signings? I've seen some that come through me for $45, for $55, even $35. And so, of course, I turned them down. But what I did notice is once I started countering with this particular company, and they had my rating as being excellent, now I get higher rates. So I'm just wondering whether or not these companies send out to many people, or do they pick people that are in their ratings are excellent or in very good standing? Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether, because they say, well, whoever hits it first is the one that's going to get it.
It depends on what platform they're coming from. If it's coming from signing order, unless they've built their own list up, then it's a cattle call. Like at Unlimited Ink, we have 3 tiers of notaries. It's the blue notaries, which we call our white gloves. That means they've done Notary Stars, Notary Pro, and additional trainings, and done over 200 signings with us. And those are white gloves. Then we have our second tier of notaries that have done, Notary Star or Notary Pro, or one of the training courses that we accept. And then there's everybody else. And it starts out texting them first, so they have but the price is the same for anybody who services the order. If they have low fees, it just means that they're probably trying. But you can always counter and they'll learn. There are certain areas in this country that people just have to, like there are certain areas that the notaries are just not going to budge. Like,
right.
Whether it be they can't, or they just know they got it on lockdown. But unfortunately, if you live in a major city or even a semi-major city, there's competition and there's always going to be someone who might take it. But I would say build up your clientele the way that you want to be built up. I personally live in Central Phoenix. When I was out in the field, not even just 6 years ago, been doing this for 13 years. I was one of those notaries. If it was $30 or $125, I was taking it because time is money, and I wanted to work 8 hours a day and make as much as possible.
Sure.
And I looked at it at the end of the day and at the end of the month, not per assignment. But that is where I'm at now. I would never,
Yeah.
So is it better to just start out with I would never, and end up, or I'll take anything and I end up a multi-million-dollar company because I did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I took everything, I built relationships, I cut clients over time because they didn't. So was that better? Or was it better to start out just saying, this is my fee? I don't know who gets there faster.
Yeah. It just depends, I think. Yeah. I have counted before, and then I've won because I see they'll keep sending it back and forth to me. And then sometimes I have taken ones that have been lower just to get my feet wet and just to get to know that company. So it just depends, I guess. But I was just wondering whether or not anyone else has seen rates that low in their market areas.
I am 100% certain. If you look at the screen, there are heads shaking, and yes, I'm 100% certain. I see them, coming out for $40, and I'm signed up. Despite the fact that I run Unlimited Ink and Notary Stars, and now hire me locally, I am signed up for everything that you guys are signed up with, probably more. And I see signings coming out for those low ball rates as well.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And come back next week. We do this every week at the same time. Miss Abigail, you'll be our last question before the giveaway tonight. What can we help you with tonight?
So I am reworking up my resume, and I just really wanted to know, should I put my work experiences that have nothing to do with notary, or should I be minimal on there? And then also, Beth helped me with this last week in regards to fees, but if I'm going to go to title companies, I'm really having doubts of what prices I should have as an individual. I've seen some of the prices because Title 365 sent me like a starter packet and gave me their fees. So I kind of know what's expected, but I don't know what to put on my resume.
Okay, great question. So it's gonna be, your prices in New Mexico are gonna be different than the prices in California. Some California notaries that do direct are gonna say 175 to 250. You want to be very careful because you're in New Mexico and you are going to have a population that can't afford those big rates, right? Like people move to New Mexico for better prices. People in Phoenix are starting to look at New Mexico like Californians look at Phoenix. So I would say that you want to keep your price ranges between 100 and 150 to start. If they offer you more, take it. But you may want to land around 125 to 150. 100 for sellers to 125, 125 to 175 for buyers and refinances, and you should be hitting right around what they should be charging their clients. But you may have an escrow officer that goes, oh, well, I have one client that I can only bill 125 on buyers. Can you do that? And I would take it if you got direct business.
Okay.
But I would say if you land around there in New Mexico market, now New York, they're going to have a different pricing. They get to get on trains and planes and cars to get across things that, ferries. Seattle's going to have different pricing for direct business. I'm just basing it off of what I know about New Mexico. And I would say it's probably pretty comparable to Phoenix.
Okay. What about my work experiences?
Great question. And I'm glad that you asked this question. When you build your resume, you definitely want to make it as much about notary as possible and what you can do for their business. I would include a brief summary of past experiences. For instance, when I first started, I used a lot of restaurant and hotel experience, because that was my background before I went into this, besides web design. I worked in hotels, I worked in restaurants for 10 years. And I leaned into customer service, I leaned into repeat customers, I leaned into understanding quality. I leaned into everything that I could pull from my previous experience, but I built that resume all about, training and what I could provide and what I know and mobile printers and mobile scanners, and built that resume around my previous experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I think past experience is pretty important. Being from title and escrow, we saw hundreds, if not thousands of resumes, not just for notaries coming in, but for people working in our industry. And the biggest issue was people relying on the names of the companies that they worked for without really telling us how they benefited those companies. So what was your skill set that you brought to that company that's transferable to being a notary? Good customer service, patience, compassion, whatever those skills are that you found valuable in a previous job, that's what Ronnie's saying that you need to capitalize on and weave it into a story, right? We don't want 5 pages of resume because people like us don't have time to read all of that. Give us the meat, give us the story in the beginning. Then if we want more information, we'll check page 2 to see where you worked. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys, the time has come for the contest, and I have a screenshot, excluding Miss Abigail because she is not on camera. This screenshot that you see on my screen, Miss Beth, can you see that screenshot?
I can.
That is all the people who have had their camera on during the session for the entire duration. I took that screenshot so that we could know, unfortunately, if you are in the marketing class, you already have access, and there are no refunds. But for anybody that is on this screen that is not, that is looking for a seat in my seminar this weekend, if your face is on that screen right now and you are looking to attend my seminar, I am thinking of a number between 1 and 500, and you can go ahead and enter that in now. Okay, it's already been won. I will show you on my screen right now without stopping. There's no way to To do this, somebody already chose the number. It is 500, and that number is going to Beth McGee. So Beth McGee, you have homework after this session. You have, I just making sure everybody saw that because I wrote it down earlier and showed it in the episode. I want to make this as fair as possible. Beth McGee, you are to send me an email to contact@notarystars.com. Just subject contest winner for SEO course, and I will get you registered for Saturday. And then if you aren't able to attend, you will get the replay of the course. So that's $150 value right now and going up in pricing. So you are the winner. So tonight you win.
So much.
Tonight Beth wins.
Thank you.
All right, guys. The time has come. If you don't mind, if you haven't been able to turn on your cameras, we would really love for everybody to turn on their camera so that we can do our outro for tonight. I'm just trying to turn on everybody. If you are not naked or stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, even if you're putting the kids to sleep, let them wave too. If you're sitting on the couch with the hubby or the wife, turn it on. Show us their faces too. Let's give a nice big wave to everybody that could be here tonight. Wave to all those that are going to watch the replay tomorrow. Wave to your future self if you're coming back to rewatch it, and wave to those who haven't even found us yet. And Miss Beth, how do we say it here at Notary Stars?
Gonna move it, shake it up a little bit tonight. Ronald Reagan said, we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. So guys, just remember to be kind, reach back, help that notary that you know is struggling, show them the way. Thank you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good evening.